Alright guys, so now basically what you should have is you should have a program that is good, or at least you think it's good until we put it into this machine. You should have your tools set up, meaning you should have your tool number 1, tool number 2 all set to the correct face, which would be on the face of the chuck, and then you have it set to the correct diameter, which would be specific to our part. So right now what you have to do is you have to put the program into the machine. Right now it's on your computer. So what you're going to do is you're going to get just a regular old flash drive. I have a bunch of these, so you're going to use these, and you're going to save your program onto the flash drive. And you guys should all know how to do that. It's really straightforward. Once you have it on the flash drive, I actually have mine on my personal flash drive right here, you're going to come over to the right side of the control, and there's a little cover that you're going to unscrew. Some of the machines don't have a cover, but what you're looking for is a USB port right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in USB, just like you would on a regular computer. Now when you come back to control, you're going to notice I turned the machine on. I'm in the handle jog mode. I just finished up taking care of all the offsets. But right now, if I look, here's in my program pane or window, I can see that the program that's in action or in effect right now is the spinner top, which is not what we want. We're not doing a spinner top. We are doing our NIMS block, or our NIMS turning project. So what you have to do is you have to come down to your mode selection buttons over here. And where you're going to start off is in the list program menu. So the first thing I want to press is list program. And what that's going to bring up is a menu on the right side of the screen that's going to have a bunch of different programs. Now up top you're going to see that this is the memory of the actual computer. Okay, so the memory of the computer is all these programs located inside of the actual machine right now. But yours is not. Yours is not one of these programs. Yours is still on the USB device. And so you can either scroll up and down using cursor buttons, or you can use the hand wheel. So I just scroll up using the hand wheel, and you press up one more time, it brings you up into the main menu. Okay, it's kind of like operating a TV control settings. You have to go scroll up and then you can scroll over to the next menu. So now USB device, but it's not accessing it yet. So what I have to do is I just have to come down to the right on the number pad and just hit right enter. Okay, and it's going to pop up all the programs that are on the USB device. Now, for me, I have things, in all these different folders. These are all folders for me. So if I were to hit enter, it would open up this folder and I have to find something else in another folder, blah, blah, blah. But what I want to do is I just put my program for this right on the main directory for the USB. I didn't put it inside of any folder. So I just have Maddox NIMS turn back, and yours should be called something like that. So now all I'm going to do is I have to bring this program, a good practice is to bring it from the USB into the memory. So we have to copy it to the memory. The way we're going to do that is it's going to give you some help. So the first thing I would think to do is maybe press enter. And it comes up with a little note that says F2 to copy selected files or programs, erase program to delete, F1 for the command menu and help. So what I want to do is I want to copy it to the memory. So I'm going to hit F2. F2 is over here right underneath the reset button. So if I hit F2, it's going to ask me, what do I want to copy it to? Now it's already on the USB drive. Okay, the hard drive, we're going to copy it to the memory within the hard drive, and we don't have a floppy on this machine. So it's already on memory, so all I do is I hit enter down on the right. It's going to ask me, because I already did this earlier, if I want to overwrite. So my program name in the beginning is 012345, which is pretty generic, but yours should be your ID number, so you shouldn't have anything in here that's already your name. But if it comes and asks you if you want to overwrite, say you went back and made some edits on your program in the simulator and you were reloading it, you're going to say yes. Now to select yes, you just hit Y. Now it's going to copy it, and once it says disk done, then it should be good to go. It's copied to the memory. So now what I can do is I can scroll back up, can go into the memory. Now I have to find my program, which mine I know is 012345. Right down here, NIMS turning back, which is what I called it inside the program in the note. And then what you have to do is select that program to run. So if you come back down to the list program menu, there's going to be a select program button, and you just hit that. So now you're going to see in the left side, the program that's active has changed to my program. 012345, NIMS turning back, and this is exactly how yours should look. Okay, if I were to scroll down, this should all be what you have. You have your facing cuts right here, your introductory lines right there. your G71, I have my G70 in here. Okay, I have my home and I have my end program. You'll notice that the percent signs aren't there in here, but they're there in my notepad document. If I didn't have them, it would say it doesn't find a program when I tried to copy it over. So now I'm in the edit menu. If I wanted to edit something, you know, I go into edit and I can come here. I can alter, edit, delete. You guys have already done that. But whenever you're going to run a program, you have to go into the memory mode. So the memory mode is right down here. I'm just going to hit memory. Okay, and then what you want to do for this first time is you want to actually simulate it on the screen before we run it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit memory, which I've already done. Okay, then I'm going to do what's called settings and graphics. So I hit it once and it brings up all of my settings right up here. Now if I hit it twice, it brings me to a graphics menu, which gives me a little display right here. So now what I can do is I can actually start my program, and instead of moving the machine, it's actually going to simulate it over here just to make sure that our program doesn't have any specific Haas errors or anything like that. And so all you're going to do when you do this is pretend like you're running a real program, is you're going to cycle start. So I'm going to press this button, and what you're going to see is right over here is it's going to kind of display my actual geometry of what I'm cutting. Okay, so it runs through the program, it goes through, it's done. It goes through very fast because it's just a simulation. Now, it's going to simulate probably a little bit off the screen, but you can kind of see the path it's going to take for the G70. It doesn't really show us the facing cuts, but they would be over here. But what I'm looking for is it's going to tell me, oh, it found an error, actually. It says invalid P code in M97, M98, or M99. I know exactly what that is, but whenever that happens, if you just hit edit, it's going to go to the exact block that has an error. And I know that this says N10. It should actually say P10. So I'm going to change that. Alter. Now it's P10. Now I can reset all of that. I can go back to memory, settings and graphics, cycle start again, and now it runs through the entire program until the end. M30 is found. So that's how you would load your program. You would make sure that it's loaded into the memory. You would make sure that you come into the settings and graphics menu, and you would cycle start and see that it runs through without any errors. If there are any errors, you have to edit and address that. And then you also make sure it kind of looks like what you think it should. If this went and just did some crazy line like this, we know we would have a problem. But since we have the simulator in the classroom, we should know already that we're pretty good. We're just looking for anything that's specific to Haas. So that's it as far as loading and simulating a program.